Hi, everybody. You're listening to Radio Cherry Bombe, and I'm your host, Carrie Diamond, coming to you from New York City. Today is the final episode of this year's Jubilee in July, and it is a special one. We're airing the keynote conversation between two riveting women in the food world, Nara Smith and Sophia Roe. They're content creators, moms, and talented chefs who have built devoted audiences for their work. Sophia interviews Nara about her debut cookbook, Homemade, which will be out this October 13th, her unique visual and audio style, If You Know, You Know, raising 4 kids, and more. It's a lovely conversation, and you'll learn a lot about both of them. Introducing Nara and Sophia is Ella Quittner, journalist and author of the cookbook, Obsessed with the Best. Thank you to our Jubilee partners, Resy, American Express, San Pellegrino, Ghirardelli, California Prunes, Square, and Veuve Clicquot. And thank you to everyone else who made the day so special, including our amazing volunteers. The next big Cherry Bombe event is Farmers and Makers, and it's taking place in Paso Robles, California, September 25th to 27th. It's a weekend of tastings, dinners, conversations, and special events in honor of the International Year of the Woman Farmer and the women behind what we eat and drink. Weekend passes are on sale right now at cherrybombe.com. The link is in our show notes. Today's show is presented by Whole Foods Market. You might not know this, but when we were just starting out, Whole Foods was one of the first companies to support Cherry Bombe and our mission of supporting women in and around the world of food. So you can imagine what a thrill it is to visit Whole Foods Market today and spot on their shelves so many products powered by entrepreneurs in the Bombe Squad. There's Mazza's vibrant sauces and dips, Ayo, the tasty mayos, Van Leeuwen's delicious ice cream, Simply's nutritious beans, grains, and legumes, all the amazing rice varieties from Lundberg Family Farms, and that's just a few. The diverse and unique selection of products at Whole Foods Market will motivate, excite, and empower you, whether you're the queen of meal prep, a prepared food fan, or someone learning their way around the kitchen. No matter what you're looking for, from trusted essentials to innovative new flavors and ingredients, it's waiting for you at Whole Foods Market and WholeFoodsMarket.com. Today's show is also presented by Airbnb Experiences. If you think Airbnb is just for finding a place to stay, think again. Airbnb Experiences are activities hosted by locals, chefs, winemakers, farmers, foragers, home cooks, creators, and other passionate experts who invite you into their world. The difference between a typical tour and an Airbnb experience? The person behind it. You're not just doing something, you're learning from someone. And if you're a food lover, there's a whole universe to explore. Visit a private oyster farm and take a shucking class in Portland, Maine. Learn how to make baguettes, croissants, and macaroons from the best in Paris, France. And attend a secret supper club right here in New York. These are the moments that stick with you. The meal you help make with your friends, the special ingredients you found at a farmer's market, or discovering the secret cafes, coffee shops, and wine bars that only a local would know. And here's the best part. You don't have to be traveling. Airbnb experiences are available in cities around the world, including your own. So whether you're planning a trip, looking for something fun to do this weekend, or searching for the perfect gift for the food lover in your life, there's an experience waiting for all of you. Visit Airbnb Experiences and start exploring more things to do that stay with you. The link is in our show notes.
Hi, Bombe Squad. How are you? My name is Ella Quittner, and I'm a journalist and screenwriter and a first-time cookbook author. My book, Obsessed with the Best, came out this spring, and I tested hundreds of recipes and methods to find the very best ways to make things like perfect chocolate chunk cookies and juicy roast chicken and fresh pasta and many more. Speaking of obsession, I am truly obsessed with our next two guests. Sophia Roe is a chef, recipe developer, TV host, and James Beard Award winner. She's been on the cover of Cherry Bombe twice, and lots of you have heard from her at past Jubilees and on Radio Cherry Bombe. Joining us at Jubilee for the very first time is Nara Smith. Nara is a lifestyle creator, an entrepreneur, and a model known for her fashionable, from-scratch cooking videos narrated in her very distinctive style. She's built a huge global audience for her unique approach to storytelling, and she's teaching millions to be adventurous in the kitchen. Her debut cookbook, Homemade, will be published by HarperCollins this October. What I especially love about these two is their dedication to craft. As someone who spends most of her life writing about people who go to extreme lengths in pursuit of perfection, I simply cannot look away. Not to mention, they're both mothers navigating the food world, and since I'm about to be a mom for the first time, I cannot wait to hear them talk about how they make it all happen. So, please welcome Nara Smith and Sophia Roe.
Hi, guys. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to everybody here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, girl, you made a whole cookbook.
I did.
Look at that cookbook. How long did it take you? We're just going to get right into it. We don't have much time, so.
I don't even know. I feel like years have blended together at this point, but I feel like it's been in the works for about 2-ish years now. But writing a cookbook is truly a labor of love, and it takes so much to get it to this point, so I'm just so excited for all of you guys to see it now.
Okay, so speaking of time, let's talk about time management, okay?
Yes.
How does your day work? Like, what time do you wake up, and what time do you go to bed? And I want you to be like, we want details.
Like, how into detail should I?
I mean, I want to know things.
So I usually wake up around 6:30-ish, 7, and then my kids have this little, like, lamp in their room where they can't leave the room until 7:30.
Oh, yeah, I got one of those. I
don't want to see them before 7:30.
Okay.
So they always read books, or lately, my oldest daughter loves to get in the shower and get herself ready, and she's really proud of it. They make their beds, brush their teeth, do the whole thing before they come down. And then in that time, I get up with the baby, and then we go about our day, and then I usually put the kids to bed at like 7:30-ish. And then my time starts where I get to crank out all the work I didn't do during the day. I go to bed really late. I text everyone on my team. They know they will get a text or an email at 11 or 12 at night.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, but it's like, I think people want to know, like, what your day is actually structured like.
Yeah.
Like, even your content. Are you writing, I'm going to shoot 5 things today? Or is it kind of like you do what you have time for? How does that work?
I think it's been an evolution. It also depends on how many kids I have at the time, because I used to have 3 and now it's 4, and obviously they're all different ages, so they all require a little bit of a different approach. So I usually have my content mapped out for the week, and then I try to shoot 2 videos a day if I can, but it truly depends, because some videos, if I make bubble gum, that's like an hour. But if I make, I don't know, let's say a hot dog, that's stuffing the sausage, making the bread, making the ketchup. So that's like a 7-ish hour process. So then it's a video a day.
This girl told me backstage, you guys, she goes, yeah, the hot dog, I shot that. That was the first time I've ever made it.
Yeah, I'd never stuffed a sausage before. So
Okay.
We did it together.
Okay. So let's talk about your book, because I'm not done talking to you about content, but let's talk about the book.
Yeah.
So 2 years. Is the book finished? Like,
Yeah.
Are you finished? You're fully done with the book?
Yep, we're going through the manuscript right now and tweaking that before going into the first layout.
So did you have an idea of what you wanted the book to look like, or did you start more narrative? Were you thinking more like narrative recipes, or were you like, no, I want it to look a certain way?
I think it kind of evolved throughout working on it. I think I went in with wanting a certain amount of recipes and wanting my German heritage to be in the book, but then so much has happened over the past 2 years. I was pregnant. I gave birth. There were other personal things that I went through that kind of really dimmed my spark, and I felt so uninspired for the longest time. So we had the recipes, but the creative and how it looked kind of evolved over the last 4-ish months to where I didn't know what the cover was going to be like. That wasn't actually going to be the cover. There was a different image that we shot with the intention of being the cover, and that was one of my chapter openers.
Okay.
And then we did a cover try because it was so iconic, and it took a sec to get into the table dress because we constructed it out of wood and I had to get drilled in.
Whose idea was the table dress?
It was from a vintage cartoon that I saw on Pinterest. And then Gary, my cousin, he is so creative. He was like, yeah, I can make that happen for you. And then Thomas, my stylist, reached out to Rodarte and they custom made the dress because I'm quite tall. I'm 6 foot tall. So it had to drape over the table and also be long enough to kind of hit that length. Mm-hmm. And I'd never tried the dress on before we shot it either. So it was a hit or miss because it was custom made and I didn't know whether it would fit me. And it did. So it all worked out great.
It looks beautiful. Yeah. How many shoots total for the book?
We had 3 shoots. So we did a lifestyle shot to get some lifestyle imagery before it turned into winter. So we did that in autumn. And my daughter was 3-ish weeks old, so she came along. And then we did a second shoot that was 10 days at my house for all the recipes in the book. And then we did a third shoot, which was, I think it was 2 days long. And that's when we did the cover and the chapter openers and the more creative fashion aspect of the book as well.
I have to say I've seen quite a bit of the book and I've never seen a cookbook like it. So it really very much feels like you.
I wanted it to feel like me. I wanted it to feel personal because I think on the internet it can be hard sometimes being very vulnerable.
Sure.
But in this book I felt like I wanted to let people in and really connect and have them be a part of it as well in a way.
It very much feels like you sort of like were able to spiritually take your shirt off.
Yeah.
You know, like it feels like maybe getting a piece of you that people don't typically get. Like a lot of people don't know that you were born in Germany.
Yeah.
Right? So there's German recipes in the book. Talk to me about that.
So I grew up in Germany. I was born in South Africa. And then when I was 3 months old, we moved to Germany. And then I grew up there. And then when I met my husband, Lucky, I was 18. And then I moved to the States when I was 18. So that was 6 years ago now. And I kind of had to get used to the States and the food culture. And having children, I found myself gravitating towards meals that I grew up eating unintentionally almost. And I wanted my kids to grow up with those meals. I wanted things that brought me so much comfort for them to experience that too, and for you guys to experience that too. So there's German recipes in this book that my grandma used to make, my dad used to make growing up. German potato salad, schnitzel, rice pudding, German pancakes, so many different iconic German things that I had growing up.
When you grew up, were you always eating at a table with your family?
Yeah.
Was that a thing that was like very normal in your life?
Yeah, I think that unintentionally there's so many things that I do with my children now that I didn't really realize would be different for other families, but it's really important for me to have at least one meal a day where we all sit down, and that's non-negotiable. Usually it's dinner because breakfast can be rushed, and then lunch is an in-between meal. I don't know. I don't really have lunch
really
a lot. Yeah.
I'm very
So dinner is where I spend time really cooking dinner. We all sit down, we talk about our day, what we liked, what we didn't like, and that's kind of the time for us to really bond around food and also talk about food. Mm-hmm. What do we like about this meal? My kids tend to be picky eaters sometimes.
What do you mean when you say that? They're picky eaters. Like, honey, you be making them some stuff.
Sometimes, okay.
They're picky.
Sometimes they can be.
So what if you do this whole meal, you're stuffing sausage, you're doing all of this stuff from scratch, and they're like, no. Does that happen?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do?
I just look at them and say, okay, I guess you're not having dinner.
So you're not like a short order cook for these kids now. You're not like making them another thing.
No.
Okay.
It's like whatever's on the table, you can eat. I want you to at least try what's on the table. So even if it's the tiniest little bite that you spit out, I want you to try it. And then it's up to you whether you eat it or not. But I usually always make sure there's something on the table that they may or may not like. But it really depends on the day as well. Like my son will eat broccoli one day and clear his plate and love it. And the next day he's like, ew, what's that?
They do change their minds.
Even
my daughter, she's only 9 months old, but she's still like 1 minute like loving zucchini and the next minute we're like, no zucchini.
No.
I fully get it.
Yeah.
Is there a recipe in the book that was really challenging for you? That you were like, I gotta have this in the book, but it's pissing me off. Like it's just not working or it's not tasting the way I want.
There have probably been a few in the book. I feel like we've been going at this book for so long now, but I think predominantly the baking recipes. Baking is such a science, and I tested the recipes, and then I had my family test recipes, and then obviously when we shot the recipes, we also made them again. So we have made these recipes so many times, and every time we made them, they would turn out slightly different. So getting it streamlined as much as possible was really important. And the baking ones, even if the water was off, the yeast wouldn't bloom, and then the whole thing wouldn't rise. So I think just the more technical baking things were really hard. And then seasoning, I'd never written a recipe before. Well, I have, but I don't really record recipes that much. So getting it all on paper and being like, measure out the thyme and measure out the butter.
I was going to ask you about
I usually
that.
wing it. Even in my videos, it's like, oh, a little sprinkle of this and a sprinkle of that.
Right. That is very recipe developer, which is a different job. I think some people, you can be a restaurant cook and not be very skilled at recipe development. You're like actually following a recipe. I was going to ask you, is the process wing it first and then figure out exactly how much I used? She's like, yeah, that's most of the process.
Yeah, and then you have to make a dish 6 times to get it right.
Do you ever fail and then you just never go back to it? You're like, I'm never doing that again. It was like destroyed me. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had that happen, but then eventually I come back to it because I'm like, it could be so good. It could be so good. So I come back to it, but I need a little break.
Yeah. Are you always making food for your family or ever make just food for just you?
Sometimes my husband takes them out and I'm like, great, I can cook whatever I want. And that's really exciting. And then I post it and I'm like, my girl dinner is a steak pie from scratch. And people are like, that's not a girl dinner. I'm like, yeah, for me it is.
Oh my God, you're so funny. Speaking of going out to eat, do you go out to eat?
Yes.
Where do you go? Okay, what do you eat?
So
you don't have to tell me where you go unless you want to. But I'm really like, what do you want? Like, what do you eat?
Okay.
What do you order?
It's never a restaurant specifically. It's a type of food. I love Thai food. My ex was Thai, so I went to Thailand and his mom would cook these insane dishes. So Thai food. Mm-hmm. And then I love a good steak. A good steak. I love going to like little French restaurants. There's something about the French way of cooking. Vietnamese food. I usually tend to go to restaurants. I don't necessarily make food from at home. Like
I see.
Thai flavors. I can make a pad see ew, I can make a drunken noodle, I can make a curry, I could make all of that, but it just feels better to go eat it out and experience the food.
Sure.
So
I remember
usually
that. You were in the city and I was like, go to Thai diner.
I went,
yes.
Sophia, actually.
I know.
Yeah. I went after you told me and I drag Lucky there every time we're here.
I'm telling you, it's delicious.
Their disco fries are really good.
I got you, girl. I'm telling you. So, in terms of the book, I want to talk about the team a little bit because you worked with, I don't even know, is Victoria Granoff here? Is she in the building?
Hi!
That's
She's
my girl
over
back there.
Yes.
I know you know
She's
this,
a beast.
But Victoria is
best way.
an actual icon. Like, there's no one else I would ever have do.
No, I've
the food
never
styling for my
seen
book.
anyone work, like she's a powerhouse. I've never seen anyone work like that before. And I almost felt like she was like a mother hen and I was under her wing in like the best way. And I'm just so grateful you were a part of this book.
Oh, she really is.
No, seriously, give it up. We love you, Victoria.
She's so amazing. So it's just a testament to like the quality of the book, truly, like to work with Victoria. You probably learned a lot from her as well, too.
I did,
right?
yeah.
Just watching her.
I think people think that I know it all, and even though, yes, I do know a lot, and I've taught myself a lot, and I've learned a lot, and I'm really, truly always on the quest to being better and doing better and getting it perfect. It's so amazing being around women and people in general that teach you things and just correct you when you need to be corrected or just give you an opinion on something or a new way of thinking. I think to do this and be in this space, it's ever evolving, and I love being around people that kind of challenge my way of thinking.
It's wild to me when I think about your career, like 15 million followers across.
That's crazy.
I know, isn't it wild? Across TikTok, across Instagram, even Substack and YouTube. 15 million people is wild.
That's crazy.
In a very short period of time, right? Like just, 3 years probably? 2 or 3 years?
2.5 years.
Did you think it would ever get this big?
No. That was never my intention. My intention was, after my second kid was born, I got a really bad eczema flare-up, and then that kind of just evolved into getting worse and worse, and then at some point I just couldn't function anymore. Right. So then I got diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and my eczema kind of just kept flaring up. So I had to look at food in a completely different way. The stuff that I would get at the grocery store, I didn't realize that it was processed, because growing up in Europe, there are certain regulations over there that the U.S. doesn't really abide by. So I had to kind of figure out food in a different way. And with all the learning and the books that I bought and people I talked to, they were like, you just have to make it at home. You just have to make it from scratch.
Were you scared?
So then, yeah, it was nerve-wracking. I'm like, I don't know how to make bread from scratch. I don't know how to make any of this. I know how to cook. I've watched my grandma cook, my dad cook. I felt confident in the kitchen, but very basic level salad, soups,
sure,
a protein.
Sure.
And then I kind of learned, we all started learning together, because the stuff that I posted was truly the first time I make things sometimes.
Sure.
So that kind of just evolved into what it is now, and people either love it or hate it. But the people that love it, it's just so fun seeing the messages and seeing how people resonate, and just really growing together and having a loving and supportive community around me, which is really, really special.
What made you want to start recording yourself making food? Because you were like, okay, was it kind of like, oh, I'm doing this new thing, like I'm cooking from scratch, because I've got this health ailment that I kind of have to, so I'm going to film it?
People always told me, just film it and put it up. And I'm like, people are not going to like this, because I was a fashion girl and that's kind of what I put out there. And then people just kept saying, just do it. What's going to happen? And then I'm like, okay, fine. So I did it, and then it evolved into what it is now, and I'm really grateful that I just did.
Yeah, me too. It's so interesting when I hear your talking voice, because like we talk.
Yeah.
But then I hear your voiceover voice, and it's different.
It's so different.
Can you talk to me and tell everybody why it's so different?
Well, I had my... It kind of evolved. It wasn't intentional. Well, I've always loved ASMR, and I used to turn on ASMR to just get me to bed, because my brain would not shut off. And my voiceover voice kind of evolved out of, one of my kids was sleeping next to me, and I had to get this video up because it just had to go up at a certain time. But I didn't know what to do, because I'd spend so long trying to get them to nap. So there was no way I was going to ruin that. So I started whispering, and they didn't wake up. So then I got a little louder, and they didn't wake up. And then I got a little louder than that, and they started stirring. So I was like, okay, back to being more quiet. And that's kind of how that voice came about. And then I got a lot of messages with people telling me that it relaxed them, and that they thought it was really soothing, because all the other content was very stimulating.
Sure.
And then that kind of just stuck with me, and I'm like, if it can help one person go to sleep or feel more relaxed in their day-to-day life, then I'm glad to provide that service.
It was nap time.
It was nap time.
I'm inspired. Does Lucky ever cook for you?
He tries so hard. Bless his heart.
I feel the same way about my partner. I'm going to be very kind because he's here. I actually don't really let him do anything. No. He offers, but But Lucky is good at baking. So he has ADHD, and when he gets zoned in, he gets zoned in. So he makes sure that the spoons are leveled, the cups are leveled, everything is weighed out. If you ever need him to follow a baking recipe, he'll get it right. Like watching him do my stretch and folds for my sourdough when I'm running an errand, he can do that. Wow, that's awesome.
And he's really good at doing a protein.
Okay.
He is so good at touching a steak and knowing when it's done. Okay. So that's his forte. I let him do that, and I'll do the rest.
Amazing. Okay, so I always ask people this question. 3 people you're going to sit down with and you're going to cook for. Who are they, dead or alive?
Okay, you actually gave me
Sophia, you can steal my answer.
I know. Sophia and I chatted about this. One person that I'm dying to sit down with is Stanley Tucci. Super random, but I think we'd have a ball. We really would.
You would.
And then probably my younger self, me at 5 years old, and then my child at my age now. I wonder whether anything I've made them growing up will really stick with them, or a dish that they tell me is so disgusting, they'll actually like when they're my age.
I love it. I love that answer. It's such a good answer. It's brilliant. It makes sense. Do you have any advice for moms who want to do what you do? They want to be the content creators. They want to wear the fashion. they want to come out with a cookbook, and they also want to be a great mom. Like, what would you say to them?
Give yourself grace. I feel like I always try to be better and do better. And at some point, Lucky just looked at me and he's like, you're doing your best. You can just give yourself grace. Not every day is going to look the same. Mm-hmm. And that's just all right. And I think that's something that I kind of think about a lot, because I think I'm a perfectionist, so I want to get it right and I want to do it, and I'm really ambitious. But I think just give yourself grace and just do it, even if that looks like getting an outfit on for the day, or even just making a meal that doesn't even have to be elaborate. It can be something super simple, but at least you've done something that you wanted to do for the day, and film it and just put it up. Don't care what people say.
It's amazing. You talked to me about this before, about the idea of like getting all dressed up being like something you just do. How because
fun is that?
Yeah, like that was a thing during the pandemic. I would tell people, like, just put on your nicest thing. I've interviewed Layla Gohar about this before too. Like, you don't really need a reason to put your best on.
No.
You know,
but
so
who needs a reason?
Exactly. So when you get dressed in the morning, are you like trying to just put on the most flashy thing possible just because?
I think it really depends. My outfits kind of came from COVID. So all of a sudden I had these children. I wasn't going out. Restaurants were shut down. The fashion industry was barely holding on.
Yeah.
And I had nowhere to wear any of my dresses to. I didn't know what to do with them, but they were sitting there looking real pretty and real tempting. So I just one day put them on and walked out, and I didn't really think much of it because it was just fun. And my daughter looked to me and said, "You're so pretty, Mommy." And she got so excited about it. And then I kind of kept doing it because it made me feel good and she loved it. And then it kind of just evolved into what it is now. And I think fashion is just something I love so much. And it really, truly transforms how you look at something.
That's right.
And I think there's also that correlation between fashion and food. I think I look at both so kind of the same, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like the textures and the colors and the feel of something, and kind of merging two of my favorite things just felt very natural to me at some point.
Totally. I mean, I fully agree. I'm kind of a fashion girly as well. So
yeah, you get it. Look at your shoes. They're so good.
You guys see do you see my jelly? Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. Okay, if there is something that you want people to know about you that they don't, what would you say?
I feel like I do a pretty decent job at showing people sides to me, but I think I'm truly just a girl.
I guess I just mean like a special skill.
That's what it is.
Like a special skill. Do you have a special skill?
A special skill?
I know you have a special skill. Come on.
I've never really thought about my special skills.
Girl, you know how to play the piano. Are you crazy?
I do know how to play the piano.
That's a very special skill.
How did you know that?
I know how to interview people.
Wow. Sophia.
I know she's a Libra.
I'm a Libra.
You're very much a Libra. I mean, Carrie's probably losing it back there because we're going off the rails. Yep. But in terms of your book, this is us just like talking.
No, we're just chit-chatting.
Exactly. So your book comes out in October.
Yes.
How do you feel about it? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
Like everything. Is that a good answer? Like I feel excited that it's finally out there and we've got it done.
Yep.
I'm excited that all of you guys get to pre-order it now and hopefully love it.
Who's the book for? Is it for beginners? Is it for...
I think it's for an array of people. I think there's recipes in the book that are very beginner friendly, very low lift. Anyone can do it, even my husband. So if he can do it, everyone can. And then there's harder recipe. Well, not necessarily harder. I guess they're just more time consuming and there's a process to it. Yeah. So I think anyone that can kind of follow a recipe loosely can do even the harder ones, quote unquote. And then there's a bunch of beginner friendly ones, because what people sometimes get misconstrued is I didn't go to culinary school. I never got any culinary training. I kind of learned by Gordon yelling at people on camera and not wanting to be an idiot sandwich. So I kind of evolved from there and just watched a lot of cooking shows, watched people online, and talked to people in real life. So when I'm at someone's house and they're cooking something, I'm like, why'd you do that? How come you put in the cilantro after you turned off the stove? Sure, little things like that you just accumulate and learn throughout the process. So I hope that people kind of read the book and get to know me a little bit more and get to know what I do a little bit more, and then obviously enjoy all the recipes in there and cook with their friends and family, and whether you're alone or have a partner or just want to hang out with the girls and make some Oreo cookies, let's do it.
Thank you so much, Nara.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much to Nara, Sophia, and Ella. Definitely pre-order a copy of Homemade at your favorite bookstore. It's going to be one of the big books of the fall. I can't wait to see it. And you can also pick up Ella's book, Obsessed with the Best, one of my favorite cookbooks of the year. Yes, I'm obsessed with the Best. There's lots of great stuff to cook and bake, and it's also a great read. Would you like to be part of the Bomb Squad? You can become an official member and get access to all our content on Substack, including cover stories, features, and recipes, and be part of our virtual member meetings on Zoom. You'll also get discounts on events like Jubilee and our upcoming Farmers and Makers Weekend in Paso Robles, California. Membership is $6 per month or $55 per year. We also have a special tier for CEOs, CMOs, and founders, which gets you all the perks of being a Bomb Squad member, plus a subscription to our magazine and access to exclusive events. For more, visit cherrybombe.com. The link is in our show notes. Next up, we have a Jubilee solo talk from Karen Akunowicz, the award-winning chef and owner of Fox and the Knife and Bar Volpe in Boston. She's also author of the cookbook Crave, Bold Recipes That Make You Want Seconds. Karen reflects on becoming a mother and showing her young daughter what it means for a woman to take up space with strength and intention.
Hi, guys. It is my very first Jubilee. So thank you to Carrie and the entire Cherry Bombe team for having me. It is really my honor to be in a room with such gorgeous, talented, badass humans as yourselves. Give yourselves all a round of applause. When I was 46 years old, I put on a singlet, walked onto a lifting platform in a room full of strangers, picked up a barbell, and I lifted 225 pounds clean off the ground. Now, I've always considered myself strong. Not athlete strong, but chef strong. The kind of strong where you stand all day, carry 50-pound bags of flour, solve problems, burn your arms, and come back the next day and you do it all over again. I never meant to become a power lifter. In my mid-30s, I was burned out, I was exhausted, and I was in pain all of the time. I was working as a chef 6 days a week, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours a day. And for 5 years, I had lived with chronic back pain that shaped every part of my day. There was a period of time where I couldn't get out of bed without lifting up my leg and doing this thing where I rolled onto the floor first. It's very cute. And I genuinely believed that might be my story for the rest of my life. I decided to start working with a trainer because I wanted to feel better physically, but also mentally. And as part of my workouts, we started strength training. I remember deadlifting 85 pounds off the floor and thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. I was drawn to the feeling of lifting heavy weights, to the clarity it provided, and to the calm that it brought to my brain. Strength training helped me heal, not just my back, but the parts of me that had grown very small from living in pain every single day. Now, if you're not familiar with the sport of powerlifting, guys, it's very simple. It's 3 lifts: squat, bench press, deadlift. That's my favorite. And the goal isn't how you look. It's not bodybuilding. It's just how strong you are. It's how much weight you can lift. And there's something incredibly honest about that really resonates with me. When we're in restaurants, our success is layered. Was the service good? Did the guests feel taken care of? Did our team feel supported? Did we make any money? But when you're lifting a barbell, pushing or pulling hundreds of pounds, you cannot think about anything else. Not your restaurants, not your inbox, not the endless to-do list that never stops. All you can think about is the weight on the bar. In those years, I followed powerlifters on Instagram, and I dreamed about competing someday. But I didn't believe that I would ever really be strong enough or good enough. And so I put the dream on hold, and lots of life happened, as it does, and I stopped lifting. In that period of time, I opened 3 restaurants. I won a James Beard Award. You guys. I spent 7 years trying to get pregnant and have a baby. there was a global pandemic. I had knee surgery. I wrote and published a cookbook. And then finally, I gave birth to my daughter, Rogue, when I was 44 years old. And I realized something very quickly. I was going to be 70 when she was 25. And I owed her every single day that I had, every day that I could give her. How could I ever look at her and say, I didn't care enough about myself or about you to get my health in check and be here for you and for our family for as long as I can? So I got a coach and I went back to the gym. And suddenly I wasn't lifting for myself anymore. I was lifting so I could carry her. I was lifting so I could keep up with her. She fast. I was lifting so I could show her what strength looks like in a woman and how to take up space physically with confidence and with intention. So at 46, I signed up for my first powerlifting competition. Guys, I was terrified. I thought I didn't belong there. I was too late. I was too old. I was going to get laughed at. But when I stepped out onto that platform, something unexpected happened. People didn't laugh. They cheered. They welcomed me. And I walked away from that first meet feeling stronger, more confident, more focused, and more proud of who I am than I had ever been before. One of the things I love the most is that my daughter gets to see that. She sees me go to the gym. She watches me compete. She sees videos of me bench pressing. And I want her to grow up believing that her body is something she builds a relationship with, not something she negotiates with or has to apologize for, but something she trusts and is proud of. She sees me working towards something that has nothing to do with my appearance or my job and has everything to do with capability, possibility, and strength. Because strength doesn't just belong to those of us who started early or those of us who were born with it. It belongs to every single one of us that dares to try and start it all. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Karen for sharing her story with us. Be sure to pick up a copy of Crave, and if you're in Boston, visit her restaurants. Tell her that Cherry Bombe sent you. That's it for today's show. Thank you for listening, and be sure to check out our Instagram for more Jubilee in July. We've got videos, photos, and lots more. Our theme song is by the band Tra La La. Our producers are Catherine Baker and Jenna Sadu. Our executive assistant is Bridget Pittman, and our head of partnerships is Rachel Close. Special thanks to Good Studio in Brooklyn. Thanks for listening, everybody. You're the bomb.